Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the First Latitude Platinum secured credit card. So I am going to be going over the main features of this credit card. I'm going to be going over the pros, the cons. So hopefully by the end of this video, you should have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. Now, before I dive into the main features of the secured credit card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive a few free stocks, I will be leaving a couple of different links in the description box below where you can receive just that. Okay, so jumping right into the main features of the secured credit card. First off, it is a secured credit card, which basically means you're going to be using your own money to fund the credit limit. So you're going to be transferring money from your bank account over to this card. You can go as little as $100 or as much as $2,000. And whatever you put down, again, is going to be your credit limit. Now, keep in mind, the only way that you can get this security deposit back is whenever you close your account, and if your account at that point is in good standing, which basically means that your balance is paid off in full. Unfortunately, like you see with some other secured credit cards out there in the market, they don't offer any type of program where you can graduate this card from being a secured credit card to being an unsecured credit card and receiving your security deposit back. The only way you can receive your security deposit back, again, is by closing your account and having your balance paid off in full. Okay, so if you decide to apply for the First Latitude Platinum secured credit card and you're accepted, at that point, it's going to be very important once you start making purchases on this credit card to make sure that you're making on-time payments and that you're also keeping your credit utilization ratio low. So by that, you should be focusing on keeping your credit utilization ratio somewhere below 10 to 30%. That is the recommendation. So for example, if you have a credit limit of $100, by the time you receive your statement balance in the mail, you would want to make sure that the balance that you owed is somewhere below $10 to $30 because that would make your credit utilization ratio right in that spot of 10 to 30%. This is because this credit card does report to all three major credit bureaus. So by doing these two things, which are the things that weigh the most on your credit score, this should help you build your credit score up in a good way, where hopefully you can graduate on from this card to another card with better benefits. Now, as far as rewards go with this credit card, you are going to be earning 1% cash back on purchases that you also pay off in full. So for example, if you make $100 in purchases using this credit card and you make the full payment to it for $100, you will be receiving 1% cash back of the $100, which means $1 in cash back. Now, unfortunately, with this credit card, you can only redeem the cash back once you reach 500 points. 500 points will be worth $5, and the only way you can redeem these points is by a statement credit. With other credit cards on the market, you will have some other options. So for example, you can request a check in the mail, use it towards travel, gift cards, or anything like that. With this credit card, unfortunately, the only way you can use those points is by reducing your balance, using them for a statement credit. Okay, so now that I went over the main features of this credit card, I'm now going to jump into the APR and fees because this is also very super important to go over. So starting out, your APR will be a variable rate of 23.99%. As far as cash advances go, these I would definitely recommend staying far away from. Of course, this is not financial advice, but it is something that I personally try to avoid. If you do decide to take out a cash advance, you are going to be hit with a fee of either $10 or 3% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. And they also, of course, have something called the program fee. Now, this is just a one-time fee whenever you open your account. It's not part of the annual fee, it's just called a program fee that every single new user of this credit card gets hit with. This fee is going to be $19.95. This is only for your first year. The second year, you will not be hit with this fee. Now, on top of that, of course, they do have an annual fee. So the annual fee is going to be $25 for the first year. But wait, for the second year, it's actually going to be increasing up to $35 for the second year. And every year after the first year, it's going to be $35. So you may only want to have this credit card for 1 or 2 years at the very most, because the annual fee does go up to $35, so it does get a little bit steeper after that. Now, as far as late payments go, there is going to be a fee of up to $41. And if there is a return payment, there's also going to be a fee of up to $30. Now, this is a credit card that you'll definitely probably want to leave behind if you decide to travel abroad, because there is going to be a foreign transaction fee of 3% with this credit card, so you may want to instead pay with cash, or perhaps take another credit card with you, one that does not have an annual fee, if you do happen to have other credit cards that do not have a foreign transaction fee. Okay, so now that I went over the main features of this credit card as well as the APR and fees, I'm now going to jump into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons of this credit card. So I'm going to start out with the good thing. The first good thing in my mind is that this credit card will definitely help build your credit score. As long as you're making on-time payments and you're keeping your credit utilization ratio low, if you're doing all the right things and using this card responsibly, you should see some pretty good improvements within your credit score. And then at that point in time, perhaps you could close your account and move on to better credit cards, one that have better rewards. Now, the other big pro in my eyes of this credit card is the fact that you will be earning 1% in cash back. With a lot of the other secured credit cards out there on the market, they don't offer any type of cash back. So the fact that you are going to at least be earning 1% in cash back with this credit card, as long as you make your payments in full, that is going to be a good thing as well. So at this point, I'm going to move on to the cons of this credit card. And unfortunately, there are a lot more cons with this credit card than the pros. So starting out, the first con in my eyes is the fact that there is that program fee of $19.95. I just find this very, very silly, especially because there is an annual fee of $25 already. So the fact that you have to tack on an extra fee of $19.99 and call it a program fee just seems pretty tacky to me. So that is the first con. The second con is the fact that yes, there's also an annual fee, and I get it. A lot of other secured credit cards out there in the market also have an annual fee. Now, there are a couple of secured credit cards, at least in my eyes, that beat this one that do not have an annual fee and also offer cash back. I will mention what those two are later on at the end of this video, but the fact that there's a $25 annual fee in the first year, and then they bump that up to $35, $10 more in the second year, just seems ridiculous. It just seems like you're getting feed to death. And finally, the last con that I am going to mention about this credit card in today's video is the fact that there is a 3% foreign transaction fee. So if you do happen to travel abroad, it's probably a credit card that you'll definitely want to leave at home. But if you don't have any other options, if you happen to use this credit card, you're going to be hit with an additional fee of 3%. So just make sure to keep that in mind. Now, just to sum up this video, sum up the credit card, I would have to say this is a credit card that I would not recommend, just because there are other secured credit cards out there in the market that you can use to build or rebuild your credit score that do not have annual fees and also offer cash back. The first one that comes to mind is the Capital One Platinum secured credit card. And the second one, probably my favorite, is the Discover It secured credit card. That one offers cash back. Also, there is no annual fee with that credit card, and you can actually graduate that credit card from being a secured credit card to an unsecured credit card, so you'll get your security deposit back, and then you'll be able to earn rewards in that fashion. But that's all I have for today's video. I definitely hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.